Cadet 13 had a reputation at the Galactic Academy long before anyone bothered to learn what kind of person they really were. The number itself was enough to make other cadets uneasy. Most students had names, family histories, and proud species titles. Cadet 13 had none of that spoken aloud. The number followed them through corridors, classrooms, and training fields like a warning label no one wanted to peel off. The academy was massive, built in layers of metal and glass that floated in slow orbit around a pale blue star. Thousands of cadets from dozens of worlds trained there, all chosen as the best their species could offer. Every day was filled with drills, lessons, and simulations designed to push minds and bodies to their limits. Mistakes were expected. Failure was part of learning. But when Cadet 13 was involved, mistakes felt different. They lingered. They spread. They became stories. During navigation training, Cadet 13 once entered a correct command at the correct time, yet the simulator veered wildly off course and shut down 3 other pods nearby. In weapons theory, their console froze for no clear reason, forcing the entire class to restart the session. In zero-gravity drills, a harmless balance exercise ended with half the group drifting into a wall when Cadet 13's stabilizer suddenly failed. No one was hurt, but the memory stayed. At first, instructors treated it as coincidence. Systems failed sometimes. Equipment broke. But the pattern was hard to ignore. Whenever Cadet 13 was assigned to a team, something went wrong. Not always in the same way and never in a way that could be easily explained. Reports were filed. Maintenance crews checked the systems again and again. Everything passed inspection. Still, the problems continued. Other cadets began to notice. Conversations would pause when Cadet 13 entered a room. Seating charts shifted without being officially changed. Group assignments were met with quiet groans when the number 13 appeared on the list. No one was openly cruel, but distance can hurt just as much as words. Cadet 13 learned to recognize the signs. The slight step backward, the careful tone, the way eyes flicked toward emergency panels when they worked nearby. Cadet 13 did their best to stay unnoticed. They followed rules closely, double-checked instructions, and arrived early to every session. They memorized manuals that others skimmed. Still, it never seemed to help. The academy was built on logic and precision, yet logic failed whenever Cadet 13 tried to understand why they were different. Instructors spoke about Cadet 13 behind closed doors. Not with anger, but with concern mixed with frustration. One instructor argued that Cadet 13 should be reassigned to a non-operational role. Another insisted the academy did not give up on cadets without clear cause. There was no evidence of sabotage, no sign of incompetence, no medical condition that explained the incidents. All the tests came back normal. Trouble follows them, one instructor finally said during a private meeting. I don't know how and I don't know why, but it does. The word stuck. Cadet 13 sensed it even when no one said it aloud. They felt it during evaluations when instructors watched them more closely than others. They felt it during drills when teammates hesitated before trusting them with important tasks. They felt it most at night, alone in their quarters, when the station lights dimmed and the hum of the academy filled the silence. They wondered if the problem was something inside them that no scanner could find. Some flaw woven into their biology or their presence or their luck. They wondered if they had made a mistake coming to the academy at all. But leaving was not an option. Too much had been invested. Too many expectations rested on that simple number. One evening, during a routine systems class, the instructor announced a new round of pair assignments. Names and numbers appeared on the shared display. Cadet 13 scanned the list quickly, heart tightening when they saw their number. They had been paired again. The other cadet glanced at the screen, then slowly looked away. The expression was careful, controlled, and tired. The lesson began smoothly. Data flowed across the consoles. For several minutes nothing went wrong. Cadet 13 allowed themselves a small breath of relief. Maybe today would be different. Maybe the stories would finally stop growing. Then a warning tone sounded. Not loud, not dramatic, just a soft alert that something was slightly off. The instructor paused. Diagnostics ran automatically. The issue traced back to Cadet 13's station, even though the display showed no incorrect input. The instructor sighed, not in anger but in weary disappointment. Reset the system, they said. The class waited while the reset completed. No one spoke. No one looked directly at Cadet 13. The lesson resumed, but the moment was already lost. Another mark added to a record no one officially kept. After class, Cadet 13 lingered, hoping to explain, though they did not know what to say. The instructor met their gaze briefly and nodded. I know you didn't do anything wrong, the instructor said quietly. That's the problem. Cadet 13 returned to their quarters feeling heavier than before. The halls were busy with cadets laughing, arguing and sharing meals. The academy was full of life, teamwork and shared purpose. Cadet 13 felt like a ghost moving through it all, present but never truly included. They sat on the edge of their sleeping platform and stared at the small window that showed the distant curve of the star outside. Somewhere in the vast space beyond the academy, other cadets' home worlds waited. Places where they were understood. Places where they belonged. Cadet 13 wondered if such a place existed for them. They did not know that changes were already being planned. That a new exchange cadet was on their way. That the academy, tired of unanswered questions, was about to introduce something unpredictable into an already fragile balance. For now, Cadet 13 was still just a problem. A number. A quiet source of unexplained trouble. And in a place built on order, that made them the most dangerous kind of mystery of all. The arrival of the human exchange cadet did not begin with alarms or grand announcements. It started quietly with a single transport docking against the academy's outer ring and a short message sent through the internal network. Most cadets barely noticed. Human exchanges were rare but not unheard of. Humans came, studied, left, and became another footnote in academy records. Cadet 13 noticed. They noticed because their schedule changed without warning. A new name appeared beside theirs in multiple shared classes. The name was short and unfamiliar. So, no long species title. No rank attached yet. Just a name. Rumors spread quickly as they always did. Humans were said to come from a harsh world, filled with unstable climates and constant danger. Some cadets believed humans were aggressive. Others believed they were fragile and reckless. No one seemed to agree on anything except that humans were unpredictable. Cadet 13 felt a tight knot form in their chest. Unpredictable things rarely mixed well with their life. The first time Cadet 13 saw Sam was in a systems lab. The room was bright and filled with rows of consoles, each one linked to a shared simulation core. Cadets took their seats in pairs as usual. Cadet 13 arrived early and chose a station near the edge, hoping to be overlooked. Sam walked in a few moments later. The human looked ordinary. That was the strange part. Sam was not large or small, not loud or silent. Their movements were relaxed, their expression calm. They scanned the room, noticed the empty seat beside Cadet 13, and walked over without hesitation. "Hey," Sam said, voice even and friendly. "Guess we're partners." Cadet 13 froze for half a second. Most cadets asked first. Some hesitated. Sam simply sat down. "Yes," Cadet 13 replied carefully. They waited for the usual reaction. The slight shift away. The glance at the instructor. The unspoken worry. It never came. Sam powered on the console and stretched their hands as if settling in for routine work. The lesson began. Data flowed across the screens. The simulation was complex, involving multiple system layers that required coordination and timing. Cadet 13 followed the instructions closely, fingers steady, mind sharp. For several minutes, everything worked. Then, as always, something went wrong. A warning symbol appeared on Cadet 13's side of the console. It was faint, barely noticeable, but Cadet 13 saw it instantly. Their pulse spiked. "I didn't," Cadet 13 began. Sam leaned closer, eyes focused. "It's fine," Sam said. "Let's check the input path." Cadet 13 hesitated. Usually this was the moment when blame arrived. When voices tightened and patience vanished. Instead, Sam adjusted their own settings, rerouting part of the system load without asking permission. The warning disappeared. Cadet 13 stared at the screen. "You changed your side." "Yeah," Sam said. "Seemed easier." The instructor glanced over but said nothing. The lesson continued. For the rest of the class, small issues surfaced near Cadet 13's station. Each time Sam adapted. They slowed their pace, adjusted parameters, and left extra buffer space in the system. They did not sigh. They did not comment. They did not look annoyed. When the class ended, Cadet 13 realized something shocking. No one had blamed them. As they stood to leave, Cadet 13 spoke before fear could stop them. You know the errors come from me." Sam shrugged lightly. "Stuff happens. Systems are weird." "That is not what others say." Sam paused, considering. "Others aren't working with you right now." The words stayed with Cadet 13 long after they left the room. Over the next few days, Sam appeared again and again. In navigation drills. In theory classes. In practical exercises that required trust and timing. Every time, Sam treated Cadet 13 the same way, calm, patient, focused on solutions instead of causes. When a training drone failed to respond to Cadet 13's command, Sam redirected control without drawing attention. When a simulation froze, Sam suggested a reset before anyone could speak. When an instructor raised an eyebrow, Sam met their gaze with quiet confidence. Cadet 13 did not know how to react. They felt unsteady, as if the ground beneath them had shifted. Their instincts, shaped by months of isolation, told them this could not last. That patience would run out. That disappointment would follow. But it did not. One afternoon, during a long maintenance shift, Cadet 13 finally asked, "Why don't you mind?" Sam looked up from a tool panel. "Mind what?" "Working with me," Cadet 13 said. "The problems." Sam thought for a moment. "Back home things break all the time. You learn to work around it." "I am not a machine," Cadet 13 said quietly. Sam smiled, not unkindly. "Exactly." The answer made no sense, yet it eased something deep inside Cadet 13. Other cadets began to notice. Whispers shifted tone. Instead of warnings, there was confusion. Why had the human not requested reassignment? Why had incidents decreased during shared sessions? Instructors took note of improved results, even if they could not explain why. Cadet 13 started sleeping better. Not well, but better. The weight in their chest lightened just enough to breathe. They still expected failure. Still flinched when alarms sounded. Still apologized too often. But now, when things went wrong, someone stood beside them instead of stepping away. One evening, as they walked back through the long corridor toward their quarters, Sam matched their pace. "You're not broken," Sam said suddenly. Cadet 13 stopped walking. "You do not know that." Sam shrugged. "I know you try. That counts." For the first time since arriving at the academy, Cadet 13 felt something unfamiliar settle over them. Hope felt dangerous, but it also felt real. And that alone was enough to change everything. The change to shared quarters was announced with a short message sent to both cadets. It was written in the academy's usual clear and emotionless tone, stating that space was being reorganized to improve efficiency and cultural exchange. Cadet 13 read the message 3 times, feeling their stomach tighten each time. Sharing space was difficult. It meant fewer places to hide mistakes and fewer moments of silence to recover from them. Sam, however, seemed pleased. "It'll be easier," Sam said while packing their few belongings. "Less walking." Cadet 13 nodded, though they did not feel the same comfort. They arrived at the shared quarters early as usual. The room was clean and simple, with 2 sleeping platforms, 2 storage units, and a wide window that looked out into the slow curve of space. Everything was balanced and symmetrical, designed to prevent conflict. Cadet 13 placed their things neatly in one corner and waited. The door opened a short time later, and Sam stepped in, carrying a small travel case in one hand and a soft container in the other. The container moved slightly. Cadet 13 noticed immediately. "What is that?" Cadet 13 asked, voice careful. Sam smiled. "All right. I forgot to mention it." Sam set the container down gently and opened it. Something small stepped out. It was covered in short fur, dark and light mixed together. It moved with quiet confidence, placing each paw carefully on the floor. Its eyes were forward-facing and sharp, bright with awareness. It paused, looked around the room, then locked its gaze on Cadet 13. Time seemed to slow. Cadet 13's body reacted before thought could form. Their muscles tightened. Their breathing changed. Every instinct screamed the same message, loud and clear. Danger. The creature did not growl. It did not bare its teeth. It simply watched. Its tail moved slowly from side to side, calm and controlled. Sam noticed the tension immediately. "Hey, it's okay," Sam said. "This is Milo. He's a cat." Cadet 13 did not move. "A predator?" Cadet 13 said quietly. Sam blinked. "Well, yeah, technically. But he's small." Milo took a single step forward. Cadet 13 stepped back. Their heel touched the edge of their sleeping platform, and they stopped, trapped between instinct and reason. Their species had evolved to survive by avoiding exactly this kind of creature. Silent movement. Focused eyes. Relaxed posture that hid speed and strength. Milo sat down. The sudden stillness was worse. "He's just curious," Sam said, crouching beside the cat. "He won't hurt you." Cadet 13's voice came out strained. "Why would you bring it here?" Sam frowned slightly. "He helps me relax. And the Academy approved it." Cadet 13 struggled to understand. The Academy approved weapons, tools, and machines. Living predators did not belong in shared living space. Milo cleaned one paw with careful attention, never breaking eye contact with Cadet 13. That night, Cadet 13 barely slept. Every sound woke them. Every small movement made their heart race. Milo explored the room quietly, jumping onto surfaces with ease. He did not attack. He did not make threats. He simply existed, and that was enough. In the morning, Sam found Cadet 13 sitting upright, eyes tired and unfocused. "You okay?" Sam asked. "Yes," Cadet 13 lied. Milo sat near Sam's feet, tail wrapped neatly around his body. During the day, Cadet 13 tried to focus on lessons. But images of Milo's eyes returned again and again. Forward-facing. Calculating. Watching. By the second evening, Cadet 13 noticed something else. Milo followed them. Not closely. Not openly. Just enough to always be nearby. When Cadet 13 moved to one side of the room, Milo repositioned. When Cadet 13 sat down, Milo chose a spot with a clear view. "He's stalking me," Cadet 13 said that night. Sam laughed softly. "No, he's not. He likes you." "That does not help," Cadet 13 replied. Sam tried to explain. "Cats watch things they're interested in. Doesn't mean they want to hurt them." Cadet 13 did not argue. They did not have the words. Their instincts were louder than logic. Over the next few days, Cadet 13 learned Milo's patterns. He slept often, curling into warm shapes and ignoring most of the universe. He ate at specific times and showed no interest in academy food. He responded to Sam's voice but not to commands. He was independent in a way Cadet 13 did not understand. Sometimes, Milo ignored Cadet 13 completely. That somehow felt worse. One afternoon, Cadet 13 dropped a small tool while preparing equipment for the next day. The sound was sharp and sudden. Milo's head snapped up instantly. His body shifted, alert and ready. Cadet 13 froze. Milo watched for a moment, then relaxed and went back to sleep. Cadet 13 realized then that the cat's reactions were fast, controlled, and selective. Milo did not react out of fear. He reacted out of awareness. That night, Cadet 13 finally asked the question that had been building inside them. "Why are humans not afraid of this?" they asked. Sam considered it carefully. "We used to be," Sam said. "A long time ago. And now? Now we understand them," Sam replied. "And they understand us." Cadet 13 looked at Milo, who was sleeping peacefully between them and the door. Understanding a predator felt impossible. But Milo had not harmed them. Had not threatened them. Had not even approached unless invited by chance. Cadet 13 still felt fear. Strong, deep, and real. But beneath it, something else began to grow. Curiosity. And that frightened them almost as much as the cat. Milo followed Cadet 13 everywhere. Not closely. Not in a way that made noise or drew attention. He simply appeared wherever Cadet 13 happened to be. When Cadet 13 crossed the room, Milo moved to a new spot with a clear view. When Cadet 13 stopped, Milo stopped too. There was no rush in his movements. No tension. Just calm, silent awareness. Cadet 13 noticed everything. Their species had survived for generations by noticing small changes. A shadow that moved wrong. A sound that stopped too suddenly. Milo was full of those signals. Soft steps. Quiet breathing. Eyes that missed nothing. Milo never hissed. Never growled. Never showed his teeth. That somehow made it worse. Fear, Cadet 13 knew, was easier when it was loud. In the shared quarters, Cadet 13 learned to move slowly. They planned every step, every turn. They avoided sudden sounds. They kept objects close just in case. Milo watched it all with steady interest, tail flicking once in a while, as if measuring something only he could see. Sam noticed the tension. "You don't have to tiptoe," Sam said one evening while preparing a meal. "He won't chase you." Cadet 13 kept their voice low. "Predators do not chase until the moment is right." Sam paused, then nodded. "That's true." The agreement did not help. At night, Milo often chose a place near Cadet 13's sleeping platform. Not on it. Just close enough. Cadet 13 lay awake, heart beating fast, listening to Milo's slow breathing. Each sound felt too quiet, too controlled. They told themselves again and again that Milo had done nothing wrong. Fear did not listen. Days passed. Classes continued. Sam and Cadet 13 worked together as before, steady and efficient. Milo stayed behind during lessons, but Cadet 13 felt his presence even when he was not there. Their senses stayed sharp, always alert. One afternoon, while the academy corridors were quiet, Cadet 13 stopped suddenly. Milo, who had been walking behind them, stopped as well. They stood like that for several long seconds. "You do not need to follow me," Cadet 13 said softly. Milo sat down. The simple movement startled Cadet 13 more than anything else had. Milo did not move closer. Did not move away. He simply waited. Sam rounded the corner a moment later and saw the scene. Looks like he's keeping you company. He is watching me, Cadet 13 said. Sam crouched down and reached out to Milo, who leaned into the touch. He watches things he feels safe around. Cadet 13 turned slowly. That makes no sense. Sam smiled gently. It didn't to us at first either. That evening, Sam finally sat down across from Cadet 13, serious for once. Milo lay between them, half asleep. Can I tell you something? Sam asked. Cadet 13 hesitated, then nodded. Humans didn't always live like this, Sam said. Our world used to be dangerous. Big predators. Small predators. Things that hunted us. Cadet 13 listened carefully. We could have tried to kill them all, Sam continued. Some species did that. But we didn't. We watched them. Learned how they thought. Learned when they were dangerous and when they weren't. Cadet 13's voice was quiet. And you were not afraid? Oh, we were afraid, Sam said. Very afraid. But fear didn't help us survive on its own. Milo shifted slightly, still sleeping. Sam went on. We realized some predators didn't want to fight us. Some wanted warmth, food, company. So we made a choice. What choice? Cadet 13 asked. To trust, Sam said. Slowly, carefully. We chose friendship instead of fear. Cadet 13 looked at Milo's small form. He could kill me. Sam did not argue. Yes, but he won't. How do you know? Because he could have already, Sam said simply. The words settled deep in Cadet 13's mind. They thought back over every moment, every step, every silent watch. Milo had never acted when Cadet 13 was weakest. Never struck when they slept. Never moved fast toward them. That night, Cadet 13 sat on their sleeping platform while Milo lay nearby. Their hands shook slightly. Slowly, carefully, Cadet 13 reached out and placed a small object on the floor between them. A piece of food approved for Milo by Academy staff. Milo opened one eye. He looked at the food. Then at Cadet 13. Then back at the food. Cadet 13 pulled their hand back quickly, heart racing. Milo stood, walked over, and ate the food calmly. When he finished, he sat down and began cleaning his paw. Nothing else happened. Cadet 13 let out a breath they did not realize they were holding. From that moment on, fear did not vanish. But it changed. It became quieter. More distant. Milo still followed Cadet 13. Still watched. Still moved without sound. But now, Cadet 13 began to notice other things. The warmth of Milo's body when he slept nearby. The way he reacted to danger sounds before alarms went off. The way he positioned himself between Cadet 13 and open spaces. One day, a loud crash echoed through the corridor outside their quarters. Cadet 13 jumped. Milo moved instantly, placing himself between Cadet 13 and the door, body tense. Cadet 13 realized then that Milo was not watching them as prey. He was watching the world for them. The realization was heavy and confusing. You're protecting me, Cadet 13 whispered. Milo flicked his tail once and relaxed. Fear still lived inside Cadet 13. It always would. But now it shared space with something else. Something unfamiliar and dangerous in a different way. Trust. And Cadet 13 was beginning to understand that humans were not fearless because they lacked fear. They were fearless because they chose to live beside it. The test was announced weeks in advance, and everyone at the academy knew its importance. It was not just another lesson or routine drill. It was a full evaluation, one that measured decision-making, teamwork, and control under pressure. The results would follow each cadet for the rest of their academy career. Cadet 13 felt the weight of it from the moment the notice appeared. They tried to prepare. They studied procedures until their eyes ached. They memorized emergency paths, backup systems, and failure responses. Still, a familiar fear sat deep inside them. Tests were where things always went wrong. No matter how ready they felt, something always failed when it mattered most. Sam noticed the tension. You've got this, Sam said one evening while checking their equipment. And if things go weird, we'll deal with it. Cadet 13 nodded, but the words did little to calm them. On the day of the test, the simulation hall was filled with cadets and instructors. The room was wide and circular, with raised platforms and glowing panels that projected a shared environment around them. The scenario was complex. A damaged station, failing power systems, limited time, and multiple objectives that had to be handled at once. Cadet 13 and Sam took their assigned positions. Milo was there too, resting inside a small approved carrier near the edge of the platform. He curled into himself and went to sleep almost immediately, ignoring the noise and movement around him. The test began. At first, everything worked as expected. The simulation responded smoothly. Sam handled navigation inputs while Cadet 13 managed system stability. Their coordination was good, better than it had ever been. Cadet 13 allowed themselves a small sense of hope. Then the first warning appeared. A power fluctuation alert flashed across Cadet 13's panel. It was minor, easily handled. Cadet 13 adjusted the settings, following protocol exactly. The alert did not clear. A second warning followed. Then a third. Cadet 13's heart began to race. "I'm seeing instability," Cadet 13 said, trying to keep their voice steady. Sam leaned closer. "Okay, talk to me. What kind?" "I don't know," Cadet 13 replied. "The inputs are correct." Around them, other cadets noticed the change. Voices rose slightly. Instructors watched more closely. The simulation environment flickered. Then the system failed. Not completely, but enough to cause chaos. Lights dimmed. Controls lagged. The simulated station began to lose structural balance. Alarms echoed through the hall. Panic spread fast. Other cadets started calling out conflicting suggestions. Some froze. Others tried to take control without coordination. The room filled with noise and confusion. Cadet 13 felt the familiar crushing weight of blame settle over them. This was it. This was always it. "I'm sorry," Cadet 13 said automatically, hands shaking. Sam placed a hand on Cadet 13's arm. "Firm. Steady." "Stop," Sam said calmly. "Look at me." Cadet 13 did. "We don't fix everything," Sam said. "We fix the next thing." The words cut through the noise. "Tell me what you see," Sam continued. Cadet 13 swallowed and forced themselves to focus. "Power is unstable in 3 sections. The system keeps looping." "Good," Sam said. "That means it's predictable." Sam rerouted part of their controls, taking pressure off Cadet 13's console. "You handle Section 1. Ignore the rest." "But I've got the rest," Sam said without raising their voice. Cadet 13 nodded and focused. Their hands still trembled, but their thoughts began to clear. They adjusted one system. Then another. Slowly, carefully. The alarms did not stop, but they changed tone. Progress. Around them, other cadets noticed. The chaos softened. Instructors leaned forward, watching closely. No one interrupted. Milo slept through all of it. The carrier rocked slightly as systems shifted, but Milo did not stir. His breathing remained slow and even, as if nothing in the universe required his concern. Cadet 13 glanced at him once, startled by the calm. If the small predator felt no fear, perhaps fear was not required. Another system failed suddenly. Cadet 13 froze. Sam was already moving. "Okay, new problem." "That's fine. We expected problems." "We did." Cadet 13 asked. Sam nodded. "With you?" "Always." The words would have hurt once. Now they felt honest, neutral, free of judgment. Cadet 13 followed Sam's lead. They stopped apologizing. They stopped assuming blame. They focused on responses instead of causes. Slowly the simulation stabilized. The damaged station regained balance. Power levels leveled out. The final objective completed with seconds to spare. The alarms stopped. Silence filled the hall. For a long moment no one spoke. Then the instructor announced the result. Simulation complete. Cadet 13 sat back exhausted. Their hands were sore. Their chest felt tight. They waited for the criticism. It did not come. Instead, instructors exchanged quiet looks. Notes were taken. One of them nodded slowly. Sam exhaled and smiled. "See? Still here." Cadet 13 looked at Milo, who stretched, yawned, and went back to sleep. Something inside Cadet 13 shifted. The systems had failed again. That part had not changed. But this time, failure had not meant collapse. Panic had not meant disaster. For the first time, Cadet 13 understood something important. The problem had never been that things went wrong. The problem had been facing it alone. And now they weren't. The results of the test were released the next cycle. Cadet 13 did not look at them right away. They sat in their quarters, hands folded, staring at the floor while the Academy systems quietly updated records across the station. Old habits were hard to break. Success still felt like a mistake waiting to be corrected. Sam checked the results first. "We passed," Sam said simply. Cadet 13 looked up slowly. "Passed how?" Sam smiled. "Not just passed. We did well." The words took time to settle. Cadet 13 felt a strange warmth spread through their chest. mixed with disbelief. They had heard praise before, but it was usually followed by warnings, conditions, or quiet doubt. This time none came. Later that day, Cadet 13 noticed small changes. Other cadets looked at them differently. Not with fear or avoidance but with curiosity. A few nodded when Cadet 13 passed in the corridor. One even asked a question about the test, not as an accusation but as genuine interest. Instructors changed too. Their voices were steadier. Their eyes no longer searched for mistakes before Cadet 13 even began. One instructor paused after class and said, "Good work under pressure." It was a short sentence, but it carried more weight than any report. Sam became known as reliable. Calm. Someone who could be trusted when systems failed and plans collapsed. Cadets began asking to be paired with the human. Sam never changed how they acted. They still listened first. Still stayed calm. Still worked beside Cadet 13 without hesitation. And Milo stayed Milo. He continued sleeping through noise, alarms, and station-wide announcements. He followed Cadet 13 at a distance, watching quietly. Sometimes he chose to sit near them. Sometimes he ignored them completely. Cadet 13 still feared him. The fear no longer controlled every movement, but it remained sharp and honest. Milo was still a predator. His eyes were still forward-facing. His reactions were still fast. Cadet 13 did not forget that. But fear no longer meant panic. One evening, Cadet 13 sat on the floor while Sam worked at the console. Milo lay nearby, half awake. Cadet 13 reached out slowly, stopping well short of Milo. "I am still afraid of you," Cadet 13 said softly. Milo opened one eye. Cadet 13 waited for tension, for movement, for something dangerous. Nothing happened. Milo closed his eye again. Cadet 13 let out a slow breath. Fear stayed. Danger did not follow. That realization changed everything. Cadet 13 began to understand that fear was not a warning to run. Sometimes it was just information. A reminder to be careful. To pay attention. Humans lived like that every day. They did not erase fear. They lived beside it. They built trust slowly, knowing it could break. They accepted danger without letting it rule them. Cadet 13 watched Sam and Milo together. The human spoke softly. The cat responded in small ways, tail flicks, ear turns, quiet presence. It was not control. It was understanding. One afternoon, a loud mechanical failure echoed through the corridor outside their quarters. Cadet 13 jumped. Milo moved first, alert and focused. Sam stood calmly, already checking alerts. The danger passed quickly. Milo relaxed. Cadet 13 realized then that fear had helped them notice the threat early. But calm had solved it. Fear was not the enemy. Isolation was. The academy slowly adjusted. Cadet 13 was no longer labeled a problem. They were labeled unusual. Then adaptable. Then valuable. Cadet 13 still caused system failures. That part never fully stopped. But now, those failures were treated as challenges instead of flaws. Teams planned for them. Learned from them. Worked around them. Cadet 13 was no longer alone when things went wrong. One evening, as the station lights dimmed and the stars drifted slowly past the window, Cadet 13 sat beside Sam. Milo lay between them, warm and quiet. Cadet 13 did not reach out to touch him. They did not need to. Fear remained, steady and honest. So did trust. For the first time, Cadet 13 felt like they belonged.